So, Liam, they don't let me in there. But we don't have an African American history museum either. So things are always up and coming and changing. Oh, one of the ladies was like, I don't think you're well enough to come in. It was awful. Like she's a doctor or something. So, I gave them a painting. They didn't like it. It's all these boxes floating off into the atmosphere. So, I'm a latecomer to Oasis. I only knew a couple of their songs, but about a year or so ago, I discovered Don't Look Back in Anger. And that made really wonderful sense, logical. But it was in such a beautiful video. And it just touched me, and I probably listened to it 600 times, absorbing it and becoming that song, which enters into your soul. The music and the video and things like that. And for some reason, I could just feel my body parts at times, like making little Liam gestures or something. Is that how you learn as a child? You look at something? So it touched me, and I wanted to find out more about Oasis. And so it took me a long time to discern which brother was which, because it just seemed like such a good band. But finally, after a few days, I was like, oh, okay, so this is Liam, and get to know his personality. And this one is Noel. Both of them handsome as a devil. But for some reason, Liam's persona connected with me and my rebel side of breaking laws that I don't break ever. Right, Jesus Christ, we never break any laws. I just am ashamed at our society and how many laws they have that people just can't keep them up, can't use common sense. Well, this virus thing, I mean, so really you got to close the museum to the end of the month? I don't know. It's not as bad as the plague or AIDS. So, I mean, if I saw people dropping dead on the sidewalk, I'd be like, oh my God, run back home, stay away. But that's not how it is. So the Gallagher brothers. And then I watched them in a video get in a fight over one of my other favorite songs, which is Whatever. And I was looking up all the videos I could see of that song. It just touched me. And I think Coca-Cola did. That Whatever is a great representation of elementary education through high school education and being okay with yourself. And maybe you're not good at this, but maybe you're good at that. When I went to school, they gave me tutors, and they even switched my school because they thought I needed less populace to do good in school in math. I could never do math. So I don't know, there's a word for it. It's like dyslexia, but it's mathlexia. They actually have an illness now that some people are not as capable. So if I had it my way, we'd be exposed and get a good base of education through public schools. And that means things that kids want to do, not just what's on the SOL, which I guess it's important to have an SOL. And, you know, my friends that have photographic memories have a much easier time learning math equations that are memorized than I did. They're having an Irish party here. So if I could restructure the school system, I'd be like, you dance in the morning. You get up and you learn a dance and you listen to music. Everybody in homeroom dances and listens to some music. Say the Pledge of Allegiance, and you get to know your people in your homeroom like they're your homies, your family, because it's called homeroom. So you don't bully each other, but you talk about stuff. You have counseling and all different avenues of communication through homeschool, depending on what's relevant. It is an important start of the day. Then there's clubs after school. All different kinds, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, ski club. If you don't have the money, you go out and sell cookies. Everybody bring some ingredients. We're going to make cookies and sell them for really expensive prices like Girl Scout cookies. My mom always said, where there's a will, there's a way. My dad said, never, never, never give up. And it's not that my mom and dad were perfect. They had some really terrible illness going on, but they were also not stupid. And that's really funny when people treat me like Borat would say, retard. You're not going to get this. You're not going to get this. And one day he'd get it. Borat, I had him in a dream. I didn't have him. I saw him in a dream. And I just looked over to him and I said, you're a genius. And it was a good dream. Katie Tung style, suddenly I see, where are we going to be in another 100 years? We're going to dig ourselves so deep of economics. You need to look at sustainable economics, which would be the arts, theater, dance, music. Those are things that make life worth living. And so you got a great computer genius that's doing these new files and sets up, the space station. But he also writes music. To not expose our poor people to music lessons because, they're in housing projects versus the West End is going to bite us in the butt.